Hey, things have been a-okay. I am back home, and of course, because Dig is a fucking mess. Um, he's not like perpetually sick, but like almost. He's sick quite often, and sometimes it's hard for him to discern whether he's like sick or he's just sick, and invariably that will coincide with a time where my immune system isn't at its best, especially when I'm traveling, especially in the fall, like during transition months, like fall and spring. And then also, I was under a great deal of stress, and that will suppress your immune system. And so, I got sick. I rarely get sick. And because I rarely get sick, I don't do well with being sick because I don't like to feel encumbered by anything. I don't do well with being told that I can't fucking do stuff. Recently, in the past, I would say, well, just the time that I've lived here. Not saying that means anything, but it definitely does. Just in the time that I've lived here, I have developed a cough. I have developed a cough. And I think it's because it's extremely drafty and dusty and disgusting here. And yeah, it dries me out. I feel fucking desiccated, and it makes respiratory sickness just worse than it should be, especially during this time of year when it's starting to get cold and dry. And I just don't do well. I just don't do well. I fucking hate it here. I hate it here. I said I was going to put up excerpts from that live that I did where I had my titties out. But when I went back and looked at it, I was like, well, no, I wasn't saying really anything profound. Like it wasn't really all that meaningful. So I just decided, I might end up saying some of the stuff I said in that video by and by. But I think I got the majority of the things I wanted to say in the last video. Because I'm just generally feeling a lot better. And especially because like now I'm back home and work is down to a trickle. That means I am not traveling, which is for me a problem. I hate it here. Something that I was thinking about. And I promise I'm going to do my video on my toys because I said I would and I will. But I had a thought recently because I get a lot of randos in my DMs. And sorry, like I took a laxative and they have a tendency to make me feel extremely sick when they start to dissolve. Like just really like I'm super nauseous right now. It's incredibly uncomfortable, but like otherwise I'm not shitting. So yeah, I get a lot of randos in my DMs, and they say what the fuck they say. They say wild shit. I have a couple dating sites where I have accounts that like I had made before I met my husband on one of the sites, and then another site I just kept it because I like to see what weird shit people say to me, because people say weird, like they feel fucking empowered to say the fucking wildest shit to me, and so it's kind of just a repository of just whatever shit that people have to say to me, and I kind of collect those things and wear them like badges of honor. And I might put something together for you guys so you can see what people say to me. But I had a guy come into my DMs, dig first, and was talking about fucking, just generally, just like he wanted to fuck me, and I was like, well, that sounds like something I don't want to do at all. And he's like, oh, I apologies. And he asked me what brings me pleasure, and I was like, oh shit, for real? Are you are you for real? Like, are you asking for real? Because we can get into it. He was probably assuming that I was gonna say something sexual, like a kink or something. But to me, the shit that like euphoric fucking pleasure, uh, besides money, besides getting like the amount hitting my fucking account, besides that, like something that's like really meaningful is self exploration and epiphany. Epiphany. That shit. That's the good shit, y'all. Like because honestly, like an epiphany is just an answer without a question, where you almost magically, seemingly, reach this conclusion that was hidden, was unknown to you up until this moment. It's kind of astounding. It's profound. Epiphany. I want to say that's probably what I enjoy the most in existing is understanding without having to do like all this fucking groundwork, all this fucking suffering just to understand and realize like that moment is so I don't know, like it's hard to describe. But I mean, y'all have had epiphanies because they kind of range between, mildly surprising to fucking earth-shattering. And there's few things that like exist in the human experience that have such range. And like it could be good or bad, it could be happy, it could be exciting, it could be sobering. Like epiphanies are just so goddamn versatile and varied and just fucking wild. And an epiphany to one person can be common knowledge, like just commonplace to another person. It's just really interesting how varied the experience can be. And yeah, it's just expansive. But I really enjoy epiphanies. Even the ones that aren't particularly good, you're still taking a step in a direction where you know now more than you did before. That's fucking wild. Like, in time itself is so fucking weird to me. Like, to think about it, because, like, when I talk about my future self, I spend a lot of time talking about my future self. And thinking about the things that I could do to make my future more comfortable and my future self happier. But it's so fucking weird because honestly, the future doesn't really exist. I mean, like conceptually, it exists. You can think about it and say like a time that is not now and is not the past. It has to be the future. But once you have gotten to the future, once you've become your future self, you've rendered the future non-existent and it's now the present. It can't actually exist, which is fucking like what the fuck. It's also weird because like I think of my future self as a person that is younger than me, but my future self can never be younger than me. But like by virtue of them having existed a shorter period of time than me. But that's not possible. That's not it either. Like because myself in 10 years has definitely existed longer than me. It's existed 10 years longer than current me. And still I think of my future self as younger. Why is that? Like because I guess by virtue of their existence not being like entirely tangible, I think of them as younger. Does that make sense? Like I almost think of my future self as a baby that hasn't been born. But that's kind of a it's the wrong way to look at it. And there's some fallacy in that, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I do think of my future self as younger than me, even though they're definitely older than me and more experienced than me. Because like when I think about my past self, do I think of them as older than me? Not really. Now I think of my past self as someone's younger than me. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the fucking weirdo. Because I really haven't talked to anyone about how they think of their future self. What do y'all think? And like, what kind of epiphanies have you come to? That's what I want to fucking know. Like, what epiphanies have like hit you in the fucking face and just like taking you the fuck out? Because I know there's some. I definitely have some. And like, I can't even think at the moment of any. Well, I guess like, maybe like, you remember a couple months ago where I was talking about Alice in Wonderland syndrome? That was like an epiphany where like, I'm reading this thing about it and then like, oh shit, this is my exact experience. Oh shit, what the fuck? Like, how did I go my entire life not knowing this was a thing? Yeah, that was a pretty good one. But I've had like a lot. I've had a lot because I spend so much time thinking, and so invariably you stumble upon answers for questions that you didn't even fucking ask yet. But yeah, what are y'all's epiphanies? And like even the common ones, like generationally speaking, each generation has like the epiphany that like when we hit adulthood, like things we think things are gonna be different and they aren't. I feel like every generation has like that kind of thing. So like, just the general societal epiphanies that you think of, or it's like I'm sure that someone's had the epiphany, the thought that I just had, where an epiphany is an answer without a question. Someone's thought that. They had to have thought that. This is not the first time anyone said that. I am interested to know what you guys like, what thoughts that you stumble upon that have been profound to you, that have sparked a fucking flame. Because I'm sure there's quite a few out there, and it's just interesting to understand. I don't know, like how absolutely fucking subjective existence is. It's wild because like also objective at the same time, but like if no one's there to observe it, can it be? Can it be? Like generally speaking, like I feel like existence is definitely subjective, and without someone to observe it, does it exist? The fuck? I need to go to fucking bed. But yeah, tell me about y'all's epiphanies and your thoughts and your dreams, and I wanna experience the fucking world. Like I just wanna feel something. I just wanna feel something. And I feel like what I'm doing right now, I don't feel anything, and it sucks. It sucks. We'll figure it out though. It'll take some time. But until then, deuces.